The stand your ground law, which I support, by the way, has two elements. It provides for lawful use of force that is not deadly force when force is used against you, and it provides for when there's the lawful use of deadly force. And the lawful use of deadly force is in a very narrow category. It is only when you reasonably believe that deadly force is necessary to prevent imminent death or serious bodily harm. That's the standard that's applicable here, allegedly, to the sheriff. But what we had was a man who shoved another man, and then when the shooter pulled his gun out, was stepping backwards as the shooter showed him the gun, and the shooter shot anyway. Under the sheriff's reading of this rule, a shove or a punch or a kick, any of these kinds of common uses of force, could give someone sanction to kill, and that's not the way the law is written.
No, that's not the way the law is written, and it's certainly, I think intuitively we all know that that's not justice. That's not right in a battle between right and wrong here. So let me make sure that I understand you. So this stand your ground law in Florida, it essentially sanctions two different kinds of self-defense. It sanctions, my ability to punch someone back who punches me, the appropriate thing. We are not required to say, oh, you may punch me again. You are allowed to treat me like that. We're allowed to respond in kind. And it also sanctions the use of self-defense, a firearm, deadly force, if there is a reasonable belief that the other person, the attacker, is going to cause you serious bodily harm or death. Explain that rhetoric to me, that particular piece of verbiage, that reasonable belief, because it doesn't mean just if I believe that someone's going to harm me. Reasonable belief, what does that mean?
Yeah, that's a great point. What a reasonable belief means is that a person of ordinary intelligence, ordinary reason, what would they believe in that circumstance? It does not ask, did you actually believe you were in harm? That's just the beginning of the inquiry. Once you actually believe you're in harm, your belief has to be reasonable. And so if you've been pushed once and the person who pushed you is backing away from you, then I would argue there's no reasonable belief that you have to kill someone to survive or to prevent serious bodily harm. And any other ruling or any other reasoning, I think, in this case would create an environment where pushes, where shoves, where kicks, where a punch would immediately create a license to kill. And plainly, the statute doesn't mean that, because plainly the statute says there are other uses of force that are appropriate.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.